Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today I want to talk to you about paying attention. So, in English, anyway, we have a saying that we say to people sometimes that's pay attention. Pay attention. And so, our attention is really the same thing as our focus, right? Our attention, what we put our attention on, is really the same thing as when I say it's your focus that manifests. So it's what our attention is on that we're manifesting. We're pushing out into our 3D reality. Now, it gets tricky because you probably feel like, I know I've definitely felt this way over the years, that you're paying all sorts of attention to your specific person in your imagination. You're paying all sorts of attention to your bank account in your imagination. You're paying all sorts of attention to your appearance in your imagination. But remember also, it gets tricky because, as Abraham Hicks would say, every subject is really two subjects. So you have to notice where your attention is in regards to, is it on being in a relationship with your specific person, or is it on not being in that relationship? And is it switching so often that you haven't really developed like the 51% of focus on being in the relationship yet? Now, none of that's something to worry about. If you are listening to this and you've discovered, my focus really is on not being in the relationship, wanting the relationship, like the desire, the longing, that's okay. And you don't have to get that to go away completely to get your manifestation. What you have to do is just notice, wait, I've been spending 100% or 70% of my attention, my focus, on not having this thing, on longing this thing, on wanting this thing, on desiring this thing, and not on the having of it, or creating a world inside of myself in my imagination where I have it, or embodying the feeling of having it 51% of the time. But now that I realize that, now that I'm listening to this podcast and I've had this realization, I can start. I can start right now, and it can happen really quickly after you start. And so the next question probably is like, well, how do I do that? It can be, I'm trying to think of a good word for it. It can be tricky. It can be really something that you need to pay attention to, right? We're talking about paying attention at first. Something where you really have to sort of be intentional. You have to be disciplined in your imagination in doing this work of putting your focus on the having of what you want. And the feeling of the having of what you want feels easy. It feels like almost an afterthought. It feels natural. Like Neville Goddard says, when you develop the tones of naturalness. So it feels like just something that's already a part of your everyday life. And getting from where you're thinking a majority of the time about the not having of the thing that you want, to easing into the naturalness, the feeling of the having of what you want, may feel a little different than you've thought before, right? Because it can almost feel like giving up, even though you're not giving up, right? That's it's why giving up in and of itself works so often. Because that is kind of the feeling you're going for, but it's not a giving up from this place of defeat and sadness and like, you still really want it real bad, but you're just like, whatever, you don't want to do this anymore. It's a feeling of having. It's a feeling of relief. It's a feeling of easiness. It's a feeling of just like gratitude, and this is it, and like, wow, I'm so happy that this is my life in this circumstance. And so you kind of go from, and you practice it, and like, it's not always easy. It's not hard. It's not hard to do. It just takes focus and discipline. It just takes like a little bit of intentionality and a little bit of like applying what you're learning in manifesting content to your internal world. Because your internal world, like just as you're programmed by society and as you came into this world as a little being, when you were a child, you were really open to living this way. That the world teaches us to survive, and you develop these other programming to really focus on survival and not this other easy feeling. So give that a go and see how it is for you. Thank you so much for listening. May you manifest exactly what you want.